Welcome to Stella Tours and our recommendations for a trip through Sevilla and the White Towns of Andalusia.
The province of Andalusia is located in the southernmost part of Spain and enjoys good weather most of the year. Our trip took place from August 30th through September 9th of 2017, and we enjoyed great weather. This travel guide provides details and recommendations of our wonderful experience. Arriving Sevilla, we checked into the boutique hotel El Rey Moro, centrally located near the cathedral and the Alcázar. The hotel is eclectic and bright with a wonderful patio where you can enjoy a café con leche in the morning or a refreshing drink after a day of sightseeing. The staff was friendly and helpful, and we highly recommend Hotel El Rey Moro. After checking in, we took a walk around the area close to the hotel to get our bearings. Then time for a quick siesta to recharge our batteries from the overnight flight from the States. Our first evening, we stayed close by the hotel and enjoyed a casual dinner at a restaurant around the corner. The concierge suggested we meet up in the morning with a tour group that provides free walking tours of the most important sites in the old sector of the city. The guides work off tips, so consider being generous if you enjoy your tour. Our guide, Rocio, was very informative and encouraged us to ask as many questions as we like. Her English was excellent, and she was very personable. Rocio took us on a 2.5-hour tour of the most important places in the old sector, including the Hotel Alfonso XIII, the Plaza de España, the University of Sevilla, the Sevilla Bull Ring, and many other interesting sites. We highly recommend Free Walking Tours Sevilla. The walking tour will surely leave you hungry, and we had lunch at a wonderful restaurant called the Mirador San Fernando. The food and service was very good, and they just might have the best wine list in Sevilla. We would definitely return to Mirador San Fernando. That evening, we saw a traditional flamenco show at Los Gallos, close to the hotel. It's first-come, first-served seating, so get there early for upfront seats. After the show, we did some casual outdoor dining at Casa Roman, just around the corner from the hotel, and enjoyed the wandering minstrels, made up of medical students from the university. Our second day in Sevilla started out with a tour of the Alcázar. We suggest booking reservations online so you won't have to wait in line to buy tickets. Also, start your visit early in the morning if you can for the coolest temperatures. The Alcázar is a residence of the King of Spain. He stays there on occasion, but we hear he prefers the Alfonso XIII Hotel. There's a lot to learn about the history of the Alcázar Palace, and we suggest buying the self-guided tour device to learn about this wonderful building. After the Alcázar, we toured the inside of the Sevilla Cathedral, officially known as La Catedral de Santa María de la Sede. Probably the most famous person buried there is Christopher Columbus, who was honored with a spectacular tomb. It's the largest Gothic cathedral in the world and the third largest church in the world behind St. Peter's in Rome and Our Lady Aparecida in Brazil. Its construction began in 1401 and it contains 80 chapels. The treasury is its own museum and a must-see.
So we just had a wonderful two-night stay at the Boutique Hotel El Rey Moro, right here in the best part of Sevilla. And now we're off to Ronda. We have a great time there.
Leaving Sevilla, our first destination was Ronda, and on the way we made a stop in Sahara de la Sierra for lunch and some wonderful views of the Andalusia countryside. We arrived Ronda and got to know our surroundings. Ronda is one of the most romantic towns in Spain, and maybe the world. That evening we had a great meal at El Morabito restaurant. What fabulous views of the valley and the beautiful white town of Ronda. Our trip was planned specifically to experience the Goya fiesta, a week-long celebration of the period of the artist Francisco Goya. It's almost always held at the beginning of September, and lodging sells out quickly, so plan ahead if you want to go. We planned 3 months in advance, and all the hotels were already sold out. The Airbnb we stayed in was not up to par, so it gets no mention here. Esa señorita. Excelente, gracias. The week-long fiesta culminates with the Goyesca bullfight. If you don't like bullfighting, fine. But as an important part of Spanish culture, it's worth it to attend. Tickets are not cheap, and I highly recommend not to buy seats in the Sol or sun section, as the September sun will make you extremely uncomfortable. We bought tickets in the Sol and Sombra section and were comfortable temperature-wise. The bullfight has historical structure to it, so I suggest you watch some informational YouTube videos to understand the event. The Plaza de Toros was built in 1779 and has bench seating with numbers on the wall below each seat place. But humans were not as large back then as they are today, so expect to get to know your seating neighbors very well. After 2 nights in Ronda, our next Pueblo Blanco stop was Arcos de la Frontera. Arcos is a beautiful little town situated above the Guadalete River Valley. While we're seasoned travelers, we opted to park below our hotel and taxi up because the streets are extremely narrow and very difficult to navigate. The Hotel El Convento is beautiful, and the views of the Guadalete Valley are stunning. After checking in, we strolled to the El Parador restaurant and enjoyed a wonderful lunch with spectacular views. After lunch, we walked the brick and cobblestone streets of Arcos and took in some beautiful vistas. Dinner was at Taberna Jóvenes Flamencos, a great casual and fun atmosphere, good food, and highly recommended. Monday, we headed to Jerez de la Frontera. Checkout time was 10 in Arcos, and check-in time at our hotel in Jerez was 2 p.m. So we decided to take a quick drive to Cádiz to visit the plaza and have an ice cream. Perfect for a warm Andalusian afternoon. Arriving in Jerez de la Frontera, we checked into the Hotel Villa Jerez, a converted luxury residence built by the famous sherry baron Pedro Domecq. Our 2-night stay was wonderful, and the hotel is highly recommended. We'd made reservations for the Royal Andalus Equestrian Show in advance for 12 noon. It's highly recommended you purchase your tickets online in advance because the show often sells out. It's a wonderful show. No pictures or video in the arena, please. A visit to a sherry bodega is also a must for Jerez. Being the world's largest sherry producer, there are many bodegas to choose from. We chose the Lustau Bodega, one of the world's finest makers of sherry. The tour includes a tasting of 4 different sherries, a very informative tour and highly recommended. Again, the tours sell out, so we recommend you reserve your tour well in advance. That evening, we had a fabulous dinner at Albores, a top 10 pick for a meal in Jerez. Wednesday, we checked out early from the Villa Jerez and headed out for a 3-hour drive to Granada. On the way, we took a little side trip to Antequera for lunch at the Bullring restaurant. Antequera is a small town, has a nice bullring, and a week-long festival similar to Ronda. And one of its olive producers was voted for having the best olive oil in the world in 2016. The main highways of Spain are impeccable and easy to drive with a maximum speed limit of 120 kilometers per hour. Driving the narrowest of labyrinths in Granada is another story. For the faint of heart, we would suggest finding a public parking lot at the entryway to Granada and taking a taxi to your hotel. We used the Waze app and found our way to the Hotel Gar Anat with little trouble. Gar Anat means Granada in Hebrew, appropriate because the hotel is located in the old Jewish sector of the city. Each room is named after a poet or poetry. Our room, Aguardan los sueños, or Hold on to your dreams. That afternoon, the girls went shopping and then met up with the boys for a cool drink by the cathedral on a warm Andalusian afternoon. Stella and I were celebrating our 20th anniversary, and I wanted to have the most special venue for our anniversary dinner. I reserved a table for 4 at the Carmen Mirador de Caixa restaurant, known to have the most enchanting sunset views of the Alhambra. We were fortunate to have the best table in the restaurant. We enjoyed cava toasts and a wonderful meal with our friends John and Robin, a beautiful sunset view of the Alhambra, and enjoyed the rising of the full moon over the Generalife. Thank you, John and Robin, for your thoughtful and generous invitation and for sharing our anniversary voyage with us. It was magical.
Bienvenido a la venta del gallo con luna llena. Estamos hoy. Y ahora enfoca la luna llena.
¿Dónde está la luna llena?
After dinner, we proceeded to the Venta El Gallo, where we witnessed a passionate gypsy flamenco show set in a cave in the Sacramonte hillside. A terrific show and highly recommended. Thursday was our scheduled tour of the Alhambra. A word of caution, you must book your tour online as soon as you can fix a date because entrance to this must-see palace is limited. While not officially on the list of the 7 wonders of the world, the Alhambra is truly magnificent. There is just too much to learn about this wonderful place to say it all here. Maybe it's better to sit back and listen to Stella's brother Luis Mejia perform his Prelude to El Moro to these spectacular images. We hope you've enjoyed our presentation of Sevilla and the White Towns of Andalusia. Our goal was to inform you and to motivate you to plan a trip of a lifetime to Spain. This is truly a special area of Spain, full of history, culture, and romance. We had a fabulous time, and we trust you will too. Happy travels.